Let's start UNC. Let's start. They needed something good. Even the win over Notre Dame, it didn't feel good. It's a win. It bought you time. Last night, SMU was a good win. It was a good win, and hopefully, I should say, for them, it's one you can build off of, right? Because the obvious kind of, here's the difference, is you look at it and you go, R.J. Davis had 26 points. Oh, when R.J. Davis scores 26, they're good. Who would have thought? But it's not just that, okay? I think it's how you ended up with him scoring 26. It's the other players that made it possible. It's the roles that were filled. R.J. Davis, defending ACC, reigning ACC Player of the Year after the game, was asked why he was so efficient.
I think I just did a good job of just kind of taking what the defense gave me tonight. Just taking my open shots. I was more efficient tonight, and I did a lot of good things other than scoring. I was able to kind of penetrate and kick into the when they were playing zone, find open shooters and stuff like that. So it was really just more about just kind of just playing my game, not trying to overdo anything. So I think I did that tonight.
Exactly. He took what the defense gave him. Went out there and played his game. The crazy part is he was the leading scorer, took the most shots. I still don't think he was the centerpiece of the offense. I think it was still Ian Jackson, who didn't score as much, started slow, but eventually got going. I still think he was the main character. R.J. Davis played off of him, played it off very well, knocked down some shots, did hit a couple, 50-50 balls, I don't know what you call them, couple forced shots with hands in his face due to circumstance, not bad decisions. And they go in. RJ had a good day until he got popped in the nose and got a bloody nose. But it's contact sport. UNC did a lot of things well. It wasn't just RJ Davis exploding a little bit. They held SMU to 33.3% shooting. That's really good and the lowest they've scored this season, or lowest percentage they've shot this season. Guess who I give a lot of that credit to? Seth Trimble. Back in the lineup, was chasing around their perimeter players, played 26 minutes off the bench, didn't score a point, but played his role, did a good job, left his mark. Drake Powell, the freshman, was actually the spark at the beginning of the game. Ended up knocking down 4 threes, put up 17 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block. That's the Harrison Ingram role I was talking about yesterday that I think he can play because he does have some size. He definitely has athletic ability. He can shoot the 3. He can rebound. He can defend. He can be what they need him to be. Last year, we had a lot of fun coming up with nicknames for Harrison Ingram. The shape shifter. He was a liquid because he fit to the shape of his container. We talked
Put
to
it on a t-shirt.
We talked to his sister, who I think played for Duke,
Yeah, volleyball. Yep.
And we learned that his middle name was like Kleber or something like that. I was like, Clay, that's perfect. He shapes into whatever you mold him. That's where Drake Powell kind of has to go. What do you need today? That's what I'll do. That way, Withers and Washington can keep the same role most days. Davis, Jackson, Trimble, they can keep their role because whatever they need me to do, I'll do, says Drake Powell. It was actually a perfect example last night. His one block, it was funny because I was sitting there watching with my wife. She was sitting on the couch, and I was explaining to her how good Ian Jackson has been playing. I was like, this is a freshman. Look at him. Yeah, the one right there. He's got the ball now. And he scored this many points and this many. I'm sure my wife was really excited to be sitting next to me watching this game. But I was giving her the lowdown on how well Ian Jackson has been playing. And on cue, Ian Jackson drove to the bucket, missed the layup, and went tumbling under the baseline. And wasn't maybe the fastest person in the world getting up and jogging back on defense. So, of course, my wife goes, he needs to get back on defense. And as she says that, Drake Powell soars to the bucket to block the shot of the guy who Ian Jackson was chasing. And I went, no, that's what the other freshman does. He does whatever they need. Ian Jackson has to force the issue on offense, try to score points, be a gravitational pull, and then whatever everybody else needs, that's what Drake Powell does. Came flying through, put it off the backboard, ended up being a nice little play for UNC. The roles last night were better. And they did a great job against size, which they have not done a great job this year. The big guy from Turkey for SMU was working hard. He got like a putback, and it felt like he had to I don't know, lift like the basketball was like a medicine ball. Like everything he did felt like he had to work harder for it because somebody on UNC, whether it was Washington, Withers, Powell, whether it was one of the small guys, being a pest, everything he did was challenged, despite the fact that nobody had size to match up with him. Nobody had the weight to match up with him. Hubert Davis, their head coach, UNC's, talked about handling SMU size.
Defensively and being able to finish it with a rebound, then it allows us to get out in transition where I feel like we've been consistently good all season, but it's something that, we talked about the last couple of days, just in terms of not allowing them to get second chance opportunities, how good they were at keeping the ball alive. They're a big team. I felt like we were smaller at every position. I felt like every guy on their team was 2 or 3 inches taller than myself, and I thought we did a good job of making contact first. And
I agree. They did making contact first is a funny way to put it, but it was it's more complicated than this, but it's also, go back to like Little League basketball. A lot of times rebounding is effort. A lot of times rebounding is want to. It's determination. Same for guarding someone bigger than you. You gotta want it. Have you ever seen the ironic because Zion made his re-debut after being out with an injury last night and had a 360 windmill dunk. Have you seen the highlights from when Zion was in high school and he was guarded by a little kid with a baby face, looked like he was in sixth grade? And you could just tell that guy was like, I'm gonna lose this, but hey, we're gonna get some some Instagram views out of it or whatever it was at the time, MySpace views. You need to have that attitude of like, yeah, I might get dunked on. Here we go. This guy's the number 1 recruit in the country. Here we go. I'm 5'2". Go out there and do everything. And UNC isn't that. I'm not saying it's that kind of discrepancy, but I'm just saying they were very much in it to scrap last night, despite the fact that they were giving up size at a lot of positions. Ended up losing the rebounding battle by 2. You can live with that if you're UNC. 41-39 rebounding. I'll take that most nights for UNC if they're playing the rotation they played last night. That's a good day, and now build off of those roles, right? I'm not saying Seth Trimble needs to not score at all ever, but if he puts his bulk of his energy into defense, I'm fine with that. If Drake Powell is shooting threes at 4 out of 6, great, do that. But if the day calls for something else, he has the ability to do that as well. R.J. Davis, let the game come to you. Ian Jackson will stir it up enough that the ball will find you in openings, and then just knock down the shots like you've been doing for the last, 27 years in Chapel Hill? He's been there a while. It's always funny to go back and look at his recruiting class. If you ever want to have just that guy moment, go look up who was in the recruiting class with R.J. Davis when he got to Chapel Hill. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Not only did UNC do their job last night, but their crosstown rival did their job as well. One of their crosstown rivals. Actually, while we're talking about who their rival is, a little bit of audio here from the postgame. Ian Jackson, the freshman, asked about the UNC rivalry game coming up this weekend against NC State. Here it is for you.
First chance at a rivalry game coming up on Saturday. You looking forward to that? NC State, your first rivalry game here at UNC.
It's not rivalry?
Yeah.
NC State's a great team. Every team in NC is a great team. It's a hard conference, but we just want to go out there and play our game. We're not looking into it as a rivalry. We just want to go out there and win another game in conference play. But they're a great team.
So you're saying it's a rivalry?
Whatever you guys want to describe it as.
It's a rivalry, as if you didn't know. Not a rivalry. I like it. I like trash talk for those sort of things.
I love it too. From either side, I don't care. It's fun.
And now he has to back it up, right? Because you're playing NC State over the weekend, and if you think they won't hear that, now you got to go play well, and they're going to bring a little extra sauce for you.